All right, so today we are starting our first Niyama. So we finished the 5th Yama last week, and this week we're starting the Niyamas. And the Yamas are more universal ways of living. They're external, but they're also internal. But the Niyamas are more internal focused. So they're more on how we treat ourselves, our bodies, the world around us. So this first one we're going to do today is on Saucha, which is basically purity of body and mind. And so we're going to use that as our meditation this morning. So why don't we go ahead and find a comfortable seat, whatever's right for you. You can lay down for this. You can find a nice cushion to sit up nice and tall. And then just take a position with your legs that feels right. And just slowly start to let your eyes close, or if it's more comfortable for you to gaze gently down on something, you can do that as well. And just start to notice the body this morning. Notice your shoulders and see if you can gently drop them away from your ears. And notice the jaw here. See if you can unhinge it. And then pay attention to the face. Maybe you find a spot around the eyes or maybe your forehead that tends to crinkle up. See if you can just soften all the muscles around the forehead, around the eyes, around your mouth. And then noticing your spine this morning, see if you can gently push down into your sits bones and see if you can lengthen the spine just a little bit more out through the crown of the head, not so much that it's uncomfortable, but if you tend to hunch over, just see if you can gently start to roll the shoulders back and gently pull your heart forward. Just keeping a nice tall spine here. It'll help with your breath as well. And then just start to notice the breath as it comes in the nostrils and out through the nose. And see if you can feel your breath. Not just about how it moves, it's about how you feel the breath as it comes in the nose and out through the nose. And as you continue to follow your breath, see if on this next inhale, you can send the breath all the way to your belly and really let the belly expand. And as you exhale, the belly just gently softens as the breath comes back up and out through the nostrils. There's no strain here, but we're just starting to notice the length of the breath. And on the inhale, as the belly expands, you might notice you take a little bit longer here. But just pay attention to the exhale and see if it's short this morning. And without forcing the breath, just again, following the natural pattern you're at this morning, start to count how many counts you can do on the inhale and how many counts you can do on the exhale. Don't try to change anything. Just notice the count on the inhale and the count on the exhale. And just noticing here if maybe the exhale is a little bit shorter than the inhale. Wherever your count is this morning, see if you can increase your exhale by one count. And if that creates any struggle to increase the count, just go back to a natural breath. But if it's okay to increase it by one, see if you can increase it by two. And then just pause here for a moment, letting your breath just come back to a normal pattern. And for a few more rounds of breath, come back to whatever count you were on for the inhale and the exhale. But this time, see if you can increase the inhale by one and the exhale by two. And again, if that creates any strain or uncomfortableness in the breath, just come back to whatever count you had that was comfortable for you. And don't worry so much about the number that you can reach. We're just starting to reprogram the breath so that the exhale is a little bit longer than the inhale. And then on your final round of breath, when the exhale terminates, just allow your attention to come back to a regular breathing pattern. And just notice if maybe just that small change in the breath helped the body to soften. Maybe the mind's a little bit quieter. And for a moment, if you practiced brahmacharya last week, just take a moment to think on maybe how it showed up for you. Maybe it showed up in different ways. Maybe it was something really subtle. And brahmacharya was non-hoarding or coveting. And it could show up in a lot of different ways. And whatever's there, just give it grace. This is all part of the journey as we learn, as we observe, as we become aware. And whatever it looked like, it's not right or wrong. It just is. And for this week with Saucha, which is purity of body and mind, take a moment to think about something you do to help keep your body and mind clean or healthy? What's one thing you do? And then notice, how does that make you feel? And what's the impact it has on you or others around you when you do something to help keep your body and mind healthy and clean? And then think on something that you do that might counterbalance that. And it could be something small like going to bed too late, or not prioritizing mindfulness or pause in your day. And then just for a moment, think about maybe why. And then turn your attention to thinking about, how can both exist for you right now? How can they both exist? And then just think on, is there something you'd like to do more of to bring balance this week? And whatever popped into your head, just sit with that for a moment. And I invite you this week, rather than trying to change anything in the patterns or the way that you live, I just want you to take a pause and be the observer of why. Just be the observer. Don't try to change anything. It's when we observe the situation or the moment, we gain awareness on why. And it'll have a message for you. It's really easy to want to force something to change or acknowledge that we want something to be different. And then we try to make it just happen. And sometimes we just have to observe why. And then let it naturally find its course, either away from you or further towards you. So it's one thing this week you'll be the observer of around this Niyama. And then gently come back to your breath. And pausing here to give yourself a moment of gratitude and grace. The yamas and niyamas are a journey. And for whatever reason, you're on this journey now. So give yourself grace for being here. And for whatever's showing up for you. And then gently place your hands over your heart. Just for a moment, bow your chin to your chest. And take a deep breath in. Feel the breath as it pushes against the hands on the inhale. And feel the release of the breath as you exhale the breath out. And I thank you so much for joining me this morning. May you have a beautiful rest of your day and a wonderful week. And namaste.
Namaste.